will be happy to hear that you can all get your bingo cards out and you can tick it off, because we are talking about a new Tom Paton project. Now, this one is ruffling some feathers, and I think it's going to ruffle even more as it goes, but I don't care, because we like to talk about everything here. My name's Kevin Halden. This is Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British home for all the news, reviews, and exclusive interviews. I like to cover everything from the big budget to the low budget to the no budget, with a special keen interest on the lower end of the scale. This is an animation, but it's not an animation as you might expect. It is AiMation. We've talked about Pigeon Shrine before on this channel. Pigeon Shrine is the new company from Tom Paton. They are kind of trying to lead the way in industry tech innovation when it comes to AI. They've released some podcasts under the Pigeon Shrine banner, the Table Read podcast, and these things are absolutely brilliant. Everything is voiced by AI, written by Tom. And yeah, I'll admit, when they said they were making a movie using AI, I had quite a bit of trepidation. I didn't like the sound of it. I thought it feels dirty. I'm an old school cinema purist. However, I also understand that over the years, cinema has evolved. The movie industry has hugely changed over the years. We've brought in new tech, new innovations, but it all paved the way for where we are now and where we're going in the future. Although it does sound like this big bad Terminator machine like Skynet and Cyberdyne is coming, I'm willing to have a look. So yeah, anyway, that is just a whole load of bump right there. Please do hit that like, hit that subscribe, ding that notification bell as we dive into the AI realm. Let's talk about it a little bit more rather than just going out there and shitting all over it. But yeah, I'm going to do what I normally do, and I'm going to go through the movie a little bit and talk about the kind of the plot points, the main plot of the movie with as few spoilers as possible. I might dive into one or two, and then we will get into what I did and didn't like about this whole thing. And then we'll talk about like the cast and the crew, which is basically the cast is the crew, so that's pretty cool. And then I'll give you my final Nerdly Out Loud rating and my thoughts on the whole AI process. On the whole, this isn't going to be a deep dive into the technology or how the movie is made, because I don't know, but we will get a little bit into certain bits and pieces as I go. I am planning on getting Tom onto the channel with some of his team and talking a bit more about the process. Where the Robots Grows opens up and we've got a narration telling us a little bit about where we are in the world. What the humans are doing at this point is sending up robots to Oracle, this planet called Oracle. Robot number 5, who will soon become known as Crew, C-R-U, Robot number 5, Crew. He has been sent up to the planet Oracle. He kind of wakes up on the planet and doesn't really know where he is, what he is, or who he's supposed to be. And he's accompanied by Pop, which is like his personal operations person. I totally forget what Pop stands for. I'm so bad. I'm so terrible for that. But yeah, he's accompanied by Pop, which is kind of this little hologram of a human, this really cool little hologram that sort of talks to him and lets him know what he's meant to do, helps him figure out what his job is on this planet, and kind of is going to be his guide through life. So come to find out, he's a farmer. He's on this planet. He gets a little bit of a gender reveal kind of moment that tells him, dude, you're a farmer. Your job is to farm this planet. But of course, that can be quite a tedious and boring job when you're learning who you are and figuring out who you are. Crew, after a little while, starts to kind of rebel against Pop in a way. But like, not rebelling, he just wants to go out and do his thing. So he goes out and does that every now and then. And when he's doing that, he discovers like art on walls, and he discovers he can do art. Then he discovers music, and you know, music's awesome. It's groundbreaking for him. He discovers this as he grows. And then he discovers that there are other robots outside of his perimeter, and he kind of wants to go and see what they're like, who they are, what they do. But after a little while, his whole world is kind of thrown for a loop when he realizes that the robot he has met, number 4, who is accompanied by another robot, number 2, who's kind of like this dog kind of robot, He discovers that that guy is actually a bit of a bad guy and isn't really acting in number five's best interests or crew's best interests, and he's a bit of an asshole. And he realizes this, but then another spaceship kind of crash lands on the planet. And this one has a robot in it called Nana, which is like a medical robot. Obviously, Nana looks after you, medical robot looks after you. And in this spaceship, Nana is there because she has this pod, this life pod, which has a baby growing inside of it. Now his whole kind of ethos and everything like that has changed, because now he needs to look after this pod and make sure that this baby, this human who's come to this planet, survives. And of course, number four doesn't want that, because we learn about the 3 rules of robotics, or the 3 laws of robotics. Now, I'm going to stop there with the plot synopsis, but that is the basics. It's not the most groundbreaking original story, I'll give it that, but that doesn't matter, because when you're not doing a massively original story, as long as you execute it perfect, then that doesn't matter. None of that matters. The rest is just colored bubbles, as they say. So really where it all lies is in the story that we're telling, the message that we're looking at. And much like any Disney Pixar movie or Disney movie or DreamWorks movie, much like any one of those movies, as long as you're telling the most basic story in an effortless way, that's all that matters. And that's all I need. Your big budget animated movies, they take like 350 to 400 people over the space of like 4 years, 3-4 years to make those movies. It's not a quick process, and there's a lot of people involved. This movie, where the robots grow, took like 9 people over the space of like 5 or 6 months, which is insane. And not only are they making this, they are also the voices behind this. They also did the mocap behind this. So there's a little bit of meshing there with the real world and the live action and the AI. I mean, it's all AI and it's all animation. So when people turn around, and I'm going to go on a little bit of something for a second, because the main thing I hear about AI coming into the movie industry is it's going to change jobs, it's going to ruin jobs, it's going to ruin careers. I'm not saying that that's not going to happen, but what I am saying is that's up to the studios. That's up to the people who are paying the money towards the people working on them. That is completely up to them. If they want to dive into this world, they made that choice. So the people who are leading the way in this innovation and this technology, it isn't their fault. You can't blame them for doing this. They are just finding a way to get their creative juices out there. Because another misconception is that there's no creativity here. That's bollocks. You still have to have the tools. You still have to have the creativity in your head, the inspiration. You still have to have the knowledge to make it and make it work and make it happen. So let's not go down that road. So you've got Taylor Clarke-Hill, who plays the voice of Crew. In fact, I think he voices all the speaking robots, as in Crew number 4 and number 3. So he voices them, which is cool, and I'm pretty sure he does some of the mocap for them as well. And then you've got Nicole Barlett, who's a producer of Pigeon Shrine. She's one of the COOs or CEOs or whatever letters you want to put behind her name. She's one of the people at the top of Pigeon Shrine alongside Tom. So she's in there doing voices and obviously behind the scenes doing all that stuff. She's a producer, all good stuff, all great stuff. Lee Preston is the voice of 2, I believe, which is the dog robot, which would just be like barks and grunts. And of course, according to the credits, they're all doing a little bit of mocap, including Tom Paton himself, which I love. He did the mocap for the character of Pop. The main thing is that the voices work for the characters. Pop's voice is just this gravelly old man, and he's just gonna tell you how it's gonna be. That's not the accent he's doing at all. I don't know why I did that. And of course, the voice of number 4. I do want to take a quick second and talk about the voice of number 4, which I believe is Taylor Clarke-Hill. And he does a great job. He's a little bit of a badass. He's got some sass to him. I loved number 4. Yeah, I'm always going to be the fan of the guy who's doing things, he's doing the wrong thing, but he's doing it for the right reason. I'm always going to be a fan of that guy. And that's kind of how number 4 comes across. He believes he's right. I actually believe that a lot of what he's saying is right. However, what he's doing is a little bit messed up, and he needs to just, sit back and get some act right on that one. So let's talk a little bit about what I didn't like. And I really, really, really rate the animation. I don't know how much of it is like complete AI, like you're going into this thing and you're like typing it in, give me this scene, because it all connects, it all flows. And from the limited experience I have with AI, it is very hard to do that kind of thing. So there's definitely a bit of VFX and animation in there, obviously. Like I'm dying to get into all of that, but really today I just wanted to talk about the film itself. But I love the animation. I think it's not too Disney. It's not too Studio Ghibli. It's not too... one of the things I thought when I watched it was the game Borderlands. It's got a little sense of the Borderlands game to it. Like, it's dirty, but it's polished. It's vibrant, but it's not. It's got saturation to it, but it's also just pops everywhere. And I think that's probably the way that they got around making it all very consistent. And it is very consistent. There's this great scene where he kind of discovers what I assume to be like an MP3 player. I went MP3 when I really should have just went like iPod or, anything now. And he starts playing music. It's a little bit of hip-hop music. And he starts pop-locking all over the place because robots can pop-lock. That's pretty much their go-to dance, isn't it? They do the robot. And I love the way this looked, because when I really, really sat down and watched this movie, I'm thinking, yeah, we're seeing all the walking through the scenery. That's all working. We're seeing the sitting down, talking around the scenery. That's all working. But how does this movie really work when we get some action? Because we get a dance sequence that I absolutely I couldn't love anymore. Like, this little robot's cute as shit, and he is pop locking all over the place, and he's dancing to some hip hop beats. I'm a big fan of hip hop beats, so yeah, I had no real issue with that. It looked kind of flawless. Are there little things you can maybe take issue with that you wouldn't see in a big blockbuster kind of Disney Pixar movie? Probably. You gotta look for them though. And 9 times out of 10, this movie's aimed at kids. Those kids aren't looking for those flaws. It's only the guys who want this to fail that are going to be looking for those flaws. Did I see a couple of things that I could maybe take issue with? Yes, I did. But I'm completely blown away by what these guys have done, to the point that it almost doesn't matter to me. It almost doesn't matter. When I really start digging into the nitty-gritty of how this thing was made, then maybe I'll turn around and I'll change my mind and I'll come back and be, you know what? What they did was crap. But for right now, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just like, how the hell have they made this 87-minute animation? And let's be honest, let's be 100% clear here. As long as I'm aware, and as long as a lot of the things that I'm seeing online are aware, this is the first time this has ever been done. This is the first ever AiMation movie. And that to me is incredible. That's incredible. Not so much incredible that it was Tom that did it, because that's his bag and he loves doing that kind of thing, but it's incredible. Other things is the script. I really love the script, and we know that Tom can write a good script, but there's some stuff in there that, you always got those jokes that were for the kids and they would laugh, but really they were for the parents. Like, there are a couple of lines in there that I do want to just basically give you right now, because I just got a kick out of them. Definitely more aimed at the parents, but you got this line about 42% of parents end up having a mental breakdown. I love that line, because damn, that's so true. And that brings me to another point on the script that I was really, really into and I was vibing with. I've mentioned before, I know the director of this. I know him quite well. I also know that recently, as of like 3 years, he became a father for the first time, and he now has this amazing kid, and he's going to be an amazing dad. He probably is an amazing dad. Like, I don't doubt any of that, but you can tell that he has put a lot of his feelings or his emotions towards that into this movie, because the scenes with Pop and crew as they're sat around the campfire talking, you can tell that he's just putting a lot of this, like, when you become a new dad, you are scared shitless. You don't know what to do. Nobody can prepare you for that. You can do whatever you want, babysit whatever you want. Nobody can prepare you for the moment you are handed your child and you become a father. And there is a lot of that in this, and I love that as a father myself. I know how that feels. And this movie hits that on every chord to an extent that I don't remember. There's no other animation that I can think of that really hit me in that kind of spot. Maybe because when I watched them I was a kid. Maybe I'm watching this as a dad and it feels like it's written a little bit for me in a way. So yeah. And then of course you get the moment when Crew is handed the pod to look after the pod. Again, it's one of those moments. So while you can sit and watch this movie and you can laugh along at the robot that's being a little bit clumsy and then getting led astray or getting led along, you also can see this story of what is essentially fatherhood. Wow. But it's not all about that either. Like, it's also about the things we get told and the way we just kind of get manipulated and believe what, you know, our parents tell us or what the people who run the world tell us. Like, because he does get there, he's told to be a farmer and he is a farmer, and even though he doesn't like being a farmer, he's going to keep doing it, which is very much reference to the fact that we might not like our jobs, but we're still going to go and do it every day until you decide, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, this is not the job for me. I can relate to that because I did it last year. Thank you very much. I also feel like there's a hint of a mental health conversation in here as well. We get it a couple of times, especially with number 4. And then when we meet number 3, clearly there's something not right there. And then when we get the lonely moments of Crew sat with Pop, like there are little moments in there that Pop says that you're kind of like, damn, like I know what you're talking about. Like, just let's move on to the next scene because you're kind of getting me in my feels and I don't want to be in my feels. And then around all that, you have this amazing, superbly crafted world. This planet is gorgeous. We see it in many different forms. We see it in kind of like a winter form, a spring form. He gives us lots of different, what you could consider seasons, but really I think it's just different sectors of the planet where the different robots are. So you get all of that, and he's really showing you, you know what, this is AI. AI is here. It's going to be here to stay, and this is something that we can do with it. And this is our first attempt. This is like our first go at making an animated movie in AI and AiMation. And look what we've created. Because let it be known right now, you're not going to be able to ignore this. This isn't going to go anywhere. This is here now. And as much as you may not like it, as much as you may complain about it, it's here. And you know what? These guys put it on YouTube. These guys put this film on YouTube. This is an 87-minute feature film that is going up against big Hollywood movies, but it's going a different way. We're going to give you it for free on YouTube. I'm not saying everything they ever put out is going to be that way, but this movie, you can go on YouTube, type in Where the Robots Grow, and you can watch this whole movie for free right now. And with that, I'm going to get into my final kind of rating because I am fully aware that I'm kind of just rambling now. This is probably one of the most incoherent reviews I've ever done. But that's because this is a whole new ball game. This is a whole new playing field that we are in. This is a whole new thing that we need to get used to. We need to embrace. And you know what? If people with creative brains and imaginations can just figure out how they utilize this, it becomes another tool in your toolkit. Animation isn't going anywhere. Like, animators aren't going anywhere. That's not a thing that's going to happen because you still have to have a certain level of animated background, a certain level of, you know, stuff like that to make this work. It's not just one program that you can turn on, type in, do this for me, and it does it. That's not what happens. You have to use a combination of programs, a combination of different things to make this work. So Where the Robots Grow, I am going to put a 5 out of 5 on this because I am damn impressed. There are issues, of course there are issues, but we haven't seen this before. We haven't seen this done before. This is a whole new area that we're moving into, and yes, people are slowly cottoning on to the fact that you can use AI. People are slowly cottoning on to how we use it and how we use it effectively. That is definitely happening. It's happening everywhere because there's all sorts of conversations about it, so it has to be happening. But we have not seen a company, a crew, a production crew. If there are any questions you guys want to know about how this was done, about the process, please do hit me in the comments below or hit me on the socials, anywhere you want, because I'm damn sure going to be talking more about this. I'm damn sure going to be delving more into this, and I want to see more of what we can do. But I think as a movie, it's impressive. It's extremely impressive on the technological level, but also the story. It's perfect. It's a nice little story that has morality to it, has a little bit of danger to it. It covers all your bases. It's very well balanced in the terms of storytelling 101. If you're a dad or a mom or anything like that, you're gonna vibe with it. If you're a kid, you got some robots to look at that are doing some pretty funny stuff. And you get like the big lightning storm. I didn't even mention that. That looked awesome. I couldn't believe how good that lightning storm looked. It was like, shit, we're in amongst it, and it looks so cool. And that's, you know, that's what more can you ask for? No matter how much I like the people working on it and the past that we've had in movies gone by, no matter all that stuff, I kind of selfishly, in a way, wanted this to fail a little bit. I wanted it to be not nearly as good as it actually is. Unfortunately, I was proven wrong once again, because this will work. This is a thing that's happening. Get used to it. Embrace it. It's kind of like putting ketchup on your chips. Chips are awesome. We love chips. You put ketchup on them. Fucking incredible. And that's kind of what happens here. That's what's happening here with AI and animation and Pigeon Shrine. Please do go and check out this movie, Where the Robots Grow. You can watch it for free on YouTube. If you do, please do hit a comment on their channel. Let us know what you think down below. We'll continue the conversation there. If you want to know anything from me, if you want to know anything from the guys, we can talk it all out. I'm going to try and get them all on so we can sit and do like a round table kind of thing and really delve into the AI world. If you have an AI project like this, or, you know, a short AI movie that you want me to maybe check out and see what I think of it, please do send it over to me. I genuinely want to see what we do here. I want to see how this escalates, how it evolves. But I will also say, The Wild Robot is out in the cinemas from DreamWorks. Go and spend money on that as well. You need to go and see these movies because we need these movies to be seen in the cinema to keep that realm going. This is not going to destroy that medium. It's not going to happen. Well, I mean, I hope it doesn't happen. I don't want it to happen. But I don't see this being something that will take that out. If anything, it gives people a chance to join that realm, to become part of that medium, to become part of that industry. It gives more people that chance that want to put the time in and use their creativity. Where the Robot Grows, it is a 5 out of 5 for me. I absolutely love this. My kids loved it as well. I have a 16-year-old, a 13-year-old, and an 8-year-old. I won't lie, the 16-year-old got up and walked out because, I don't know, just kid film. But the 13-year-old and my 8-year-old absolutely loved it. They adore Crew. They want a little Crew toy if we ever do that. I might have to make a t-shirt with them on it or something like that for the gang. But yeah, they loved him. And the little girl, I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to go. I've been rambling on for way too long. I'm going to have to try and cut a lot out of this. But please do check out the movie on YouTube. Let everyone know about it. My name has been Kevin Halden. This is Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British home for all your news, reviews, and exclusive interviews. I like to cover everything from the big budget to the low budget to the no budget, and now the AI budget. Which, by the way, the budget of this movie is mental. Absolutely mental. Google it, you'll find it out. It's in all sorts of reviews everywhere. It's all sorts of articles everywhere. You do your homework, go and find out, do your due diligence. But yeah, it is mental. I am off. Where the Robots Grow. Watch it, love it, rate it, share it. Come back and let me know what you thought and we'll talk about it. I'm off. See you later.